The reintroduction of a Forge-like tool. Imagine a sandbox where your creativity is the only limit, where custom maps, modes, and unique challenges come alive. New Destiny strikes, raids created by the players. Could this be a key to Destiny's future down the line, unlocking an even richer PvP and PvE experience, especially with what's been going on recently? Let's explore. Many games have these sort of sandbox modes, but if you're a fan of Bungie games, you'll recognize Forge right away. Bungie created their Forge mode back in the Halo days. I believe it debuted with Halo 3. A canvas where you can build custom maps, game types, and even art. Sure, you could have played campaign and multiplayer constantly if you wish, but Forge and the addition of custom games, private matches would allow for endless creativity. Want a mode where you can drive vehicles while the other team tries to hit you with a hammer? Boom. Want to play Duck Hunt? Easy. I remember playing these custom games for hours with my friends. I didn't understand how to load things up and play it myself at that time, but it was just fun. It kept me on Halo. Even if I was bored of multiplayer for the moment or didn't want to play campaign, there was tons of different modes and new maps to dive into. When you got bored of multiplayer, this was a fresh play space with tons of possibilities. The newer Halo games even have browsers for custom games so you can join random players. If Destiny receives some type of Forge-like tool, this could totally change both the PvP space and also the longevity of the game for years down the line if Bungie ever decides to stop making content. At the current moment, Destiny is Bungie's bread and butter. They know how the system works, they've been doing it for this long, and regardless of the player numbers, they have been successful in the live service market. Articles have told us that Destiny's Final Shape expansion might get delayed, Marathon pushed back to 2025. So Bungie must rely on Destiny once more for the majority of their upcoming profit, especially under Sony, who's had some issues lately. This isn't just an issue at Bungie. At the current moment, Destiny plans to continue with episodes beyond the possibly delayed Final Shape expansion, but how long does Sony want it to continue? As long as it's making them money, or as long as Bungie wishes to keep the fan base happy and add on to this live service juggernaut? What keeps players coming back to Destiny is the PvE aspect of the game. Players come back week after week when a new season or expansion releases to learn what's new with the story, grind some of those new exotics and weapons. Bungie is one of the live service companies that got this right. You may hate aspects of the game, how they charge for new content and how things have run stale, which is a fair point. But sustaining a live service game, especially for this long and having no major issues on releases over the last couple of years, seems like a pretty big success. One of the reasons Sony acquired Bungie was to learn more about how live service games work. Naughty Dog even had some questions about their Last of Us multiplayer project. At the current moment, this Forge mode would be a huge plus on top of the game's success over the years and struggles currently. Allowing the community to create opens the floodgates to ideas even Bungie themselves couldn't muster up. Custom PvP modes, Sparrow Racing maps, maybe infection modes with invisibility kinda like Halo, horde modes, training arenas, challenge courses, custom strikes, and raids. Don't know exactly how a Forge mode would work in terms of map making in Destiny, but definitely some type of mod support to tweak game modes would be kind of cool. Halo Infinite just added AI into these custom games and Forge. You can fight with it, against it, different types of AI next to your player Spartans, and just imagine something like this in a large Destiny map. Say Bastion from the first game with two teams of 12 to 24 Guardians. One team has Hive allies, the other has Cabal. Throw in some vehicles and random boss fights, I don't know, go crazy. Halo players in Infinite also made a Pokemon mode with this new AI feature. Now, Destiny is a much bigger beast than Halo in Bungie's day, so it might be quite difficult to implement within the current engine and the systems of Destiny, but we can dream, right? Map making would be great. Back in the day, even some of those community-made maps and modes were integrated into the multiplayer experience. If Bungie doesn't have the time to make new maps, let the community do it. I know they have a strike team working on Crucible stuff and said they'll put more effort in, but it's just an idea. Now, in my opinion, this might be like a last-ditch effort if the game's population ever falls super low beyond what it currently is, but it's a great idea nonetheless. It also could kind of conflict with Bungie's live service model. Obviously, the goal for a company is to make money, so Bungie wants to make money and also make new content releases. These continuous live service content releases that have been going since Destiny 2's launch mainly are what keep the game alive, is what keeps making them money, paying for new seasons, new expansions. So if something like this, a Forge mode, came out where players can construct all of this stuff themselves and play it for free, I'm not sure how that would mesh, if that makes sense. It could be a fun sandbox mode like back in their Halo era that adds to the game, gives players that creativity, but it also might hinder their live service experience and profits. Maybe they could somehow restrict this to just PvP maps and modes while they work on the new story content and actual canon stuff in the game. A Forge mode like this would give Bungie more control over these types of things rather than allowing the community to straight up mod, but that also could have its own pros when it comes to map making and Crucible. Bungie over the last couple of years, especially since their split from Activision and those other subsidiary studios that assisted them with Destiny 2's development, has focused more on the PvE content for sure. Just a couple of months ago letting us know that they're going to put more effort into Crucible maps if that's what the community wants. That's great and all, but if we fell into this sort of same case again in the future, and we did have a Forge mode, there wouldn't be an issue. Crucible maps and modes made by the community, while Bungie focuses on their PvE content. I personally would love to see some more objective style modes like Oddball or Capture the Flag. How would that work in Destiny? Maybe for Oddball you'd hold an Ahamkara's skull or something to gain score. Then you can even throw it to your teammates like batteries or exotic treasure from Season of Plunder. Pass the ball around and score until you win. Maybe this would even open up a more competitive esports scene to the side of Destiny, above that of modes like Trials of Osiris, allowing players to make those competitive arenas and tweak the modes to esports standards. Halo Infinite after launch was in a rough state for a long time. Seasons were very long, armor confusing with its cores, and a lack of general content. This drove many players away. I know, I took a break for a while. But slowly, 343 has been fixing things, and Season 5 just last month brought some big changes. Reworked Battle Pass, armor rework, new modes and even firefight, new maps for multiplayer and an AI forged toolkit. People heard this news and began to realize, hey, this actually looks pretty good. Is Infinite worth playing now? And some of them came back to the game, you can see the numbers. Bungie's got to do the same thing. A Forge mode could help, but they need of course to get back on the right track, fix the problems, make content Destiny fans want to come back to. Infinite looked dead in the dust for so long, issues, employees leaving 343, but look at it now, it's on its way up and in a much better place than it was previously. Destiny's had these moments before for sure, and I have no doubt they can pull something off to lift this game back up off the ground, but only time will tell, and let's hope the final shape is that moment. Something like this would of course take a ton of time to create, and who knows if we'd ever see something like it, a tool that would provide endless amounts of fun for the community. But let's hear your thoughts and ideas in the comments. Would you like to see a mode like Forge to create some new maps and modes yourself? And what would you like to see be created if it was a thing? Anyway, Guardians, that's all we got for today's video. If you'd like to see some more Destiny news, lore, and mysteries like this video, please be sure to subscribe to the channel. I thank you very much for watching, and I'll catch you all in the next video.